Recently we talked about using layer mask to make adjustments, but you can also use these on the images themselves. Here you see in this image I have two layers, right? I have one layer, which is this kind of dried up trees in the desert, and I like the image, but that sky just really isn't interesting to me. So what I want to do is replace it. So what I have in a layer behind it is this kind of really cool sky with some great contrast. So what I want to do is put that in the first image. So the first thing I need to do is kind of get rid of this sky. And again, you know, we want to try and work with non-destructive editing, just in case we need to go back and make some changes. So as easy as it might be to just sit here and erase the sky out, it's a bit crude, and it's not going to come up with a very clean result. So what I would do is I want to just kind of make a selection using some of the tools we discussed before, like selective color and using quick mask mode. And what I did is I saved the selection, just so we can save some time. And you see that I've selected the foreground elements, the hills and the two trees. And what I'm going to do is, with that layer selected, which I should really name, let's call it foreground. We'll call the back layer sky. Is once I have that selection made, I can have the proper layer selected and just click on this icon down here, which looks a lot like the quick mask mode button, which is a rectangle with a circle in it. I'm going to click on that. And what that did right away is it made a cutout of the foreground elements. If I hit Alt and click on the layer mask, you can see what the layer mask looks like. Hit it again to go back. I can also hit Shift to disable it, so you can see what it looks like before and after. And you can see I still need to do some cleanup there if I zoom in. But I can do that again by just clicking on the layer mask, and I can go in by using the brush and the black and white colors to kind of clean up some of these edges to get a nice neat result. So I'm going to zoom back out here, and when I turn the background layer on, you can see that it shines right through. The great thing about this is kind of a basic compositing, is I can use layer adjustments to kind of adjust the overall image. So let's say, as you can see, the background sky has a lot more contrast in the foreground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an adjustment layer. This is a straight up adjustment layer. Oops. And I'm going to use levels. And you can see what that does is it changes the entire image because it's on top of both. But I'm fine with the sky. I just want to affect the foreground. So what I can do is I can take that layer mask, and by holding down Alt and clicking and dragging on it to my levels adjustment layer and letting go, it's going to give me a dialog that says replace layer mask. I'm going to say yes, and it basically copied that layer mask over to my adjustment layer. So now when I change this, it's only adjusting the foreground elements. So let's put it maybe right about there. So that's basically how you can kind of use layer mask to make more specific adjustments, because it's relatively simple to make an adjustment to an entire image, especially in a destructive manner. But using these layer masks in a non-destructive way is really going to allow you a lot more options in terms of manipulating your images. So, you know, again, this still, you know, it's starting to look better, but, you know, we can, let's say I wanted to add a layer on top of everything to kind of unify all the colors. So let's say I'm just going to create another layer on top, and I'm going to fill it with, let's see, give myself a nice, it's kind of a dry yellow color. and then put a layer on top of everything. Change it to overlay. Maybe knock down the opacity a little bit. It's going to help kind of unify everything and give everything a slight tint so it looks like it's more part of the same image.